Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. Well, I don't know how you can be in such a chaotic world, but today's episode, very exciting, a fabric haul. And there's some cute vintage prints in there and lots of jacket things and a few things to make dresses. I'm going to make a strawberry dress. It's going to be awesome. Oh, and some sequins. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket. If you were eagle-eyed, you would have spotted the Mediterranean or Tempest jacket just there before I went to the stack of fabric. And yeah, she looks completely different. I took all the beads off and I will give you a full update on that because it's just so exciting. So this is what it looked like last time you saw it, and quite obviously I took loads of beads off very carefully and put other ones on, so there will be an update on that at the end. But I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I literally just told you what I did. Anywho, so no suspense there. But first, to the fabrics. So just and some sequins. There was the sequins are normally like $4 or $5 a packet, and this one was only $1. They just had some less than gorgeous colors, I suppose. And so I got the orange ones, and I'm doing this jacket that's going to be a volcano or a fire and char jacket from my Italian tweed in the Halloween colors, and I thought they would be useful for that. So that is why I bought those. Next up, we have a beige oatmeal colored felt, and it's on the roll, so I bought a yard of that. And I've just got lots of marble. I couldn't be bothered getting up and getting the big bag of all different marble ones. So there's some polished stone beads, but I also have these zebras. They're I don't know, they're just weird. So I thought if you make a jacket out of felt, then you can when you do beading for jewelry, you use a felt base quite often, and it just means that it's a little spongy, so it just holds the beads or whatever it is you're beading quite well. So it means you can apply more. So, and also if you're going to entirely cover it, then it's kind of a waste to use a tweed. You might as well use something like a felt. So I just bought a couple of different colors, and this is the oatmeal one, as the base. So I'm going to have like 3 structural layers, and then I'm going to have that on top, and I'm just going to bead lots into it. This one here, I was tempted as soon as I saw it. It's a vintage or retro cherry print, and it's a chiffon type fabric. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so adorable. I'm going to buy like 4 yards to make a summer dress. But it's synthetic, and this is the only fabric they had it in. So I bought 1 yard of it, and I'm going to make a Chanel style jacket, and see how the base is a sort of creamy color. Well, I have always wanted to make a jacket that is entirely sequins. And this is my sample bit here. Obviously, I made it on an embroidery hoop. That's why it's round. And I've had it for years. I did it years and years ago. And as you can see, it's like silver, beige, cream, and some pale green ones in there as well. And I'm not sure if I'll do the pale green ones, but the rest of the colours, I think they just look perfect so I just make it, again, a Chanel style jacket. And then I'll leave the cherry ones where they are. I do have some clear beads and some red beads, so I might put like 1 on the occasional cherry if it looks weird, just beading around the cherry motifs. That's what I was thinking for that. And then I just added a bit of footage for this. So it really is pretty. And if they'd had it in that print in cotton, then I would have definitely bought 4 yards, made a dress. But as it is, I'm quite happy with making a summer jacket. And then I bought 1 yard of this. It's coffee beans or seeds or something. I think it's coffee beans. And I don't know, I just thought the colour was lovely. I've got this Liberty of London print in its black, white, grey, beige and apricot. And I'm going to use half of it to make a jacket probably, and the other yard to make a layer of a layer cake dress. So I need some greys and some apricots. And when I saw that, I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll make the other side of the reversible jacket in that, or maybe I'll add it into the thing. So the next, oh yeah, I'm just using the books to make all of them look good. But this, so weird. I hardly ever have dreams, but the other night I had a dream about someone reading this book. Like, I have literally never seen another copy of this book. I love it, but I've never seen another copy of this book. So random. Anyway, so I bought yarn of this fabric. It's one of those jacquard. So jacquard just means that the design is woven into the fabric. So that's the back there. And this is the front. And it's just, I don't know, it's kind of a pinky orange colour with sort of bronzy gold on there. And I just thought it was just a colourway I do have a couple of Linton tweeds in these colours, but nothing like this. And I just thought I can bead it in a way that it's completely over the top, but also would be fine to wear to a formal function. Like, it would just seem understated enough. And also, I don't know, I like a fabric that's a bit of a challenge. So I just bought it. It's just, I don't know. Like, do you go with the gold? Do you go with the orange? Do you amp up the pink? It's so pretty. Anyway, so that's why I got that one. And then, I can't remember what I got out next. Probably the next one in the oh my gosh, this one. It's another synthetic chiffon. So it's not a silk chiffon. Well, I guess that's obvious. You wouldn't put metallic gold print on a silk fabric. But yeah, so it's just a floaty fabric, synthetic, with gold print on it in sort of splotches, and I don't know, I like it. It's too thin, so I'm going to have to put a layer of quilting cotton, pre-washed quilting cotton underneath, then so it'll be structure layer, because you can see the other fabric underneath, so it'll be structure layers, and then it'll be plain quilting cotton, and then it will be this. But I just love that mauvey pink color with I guess I would normally by default pair it with silver, but here it's with gold, and I don't know, it just caught my eye. I was like, and my imagination, I was like, that would be challenging. I mean, obviously you could just bead it with, I've got beads in that particular pinky mauve color because I love that color. And also gold. I've got loads of gold beads. Anyway, next up is the strawberry dress. Wobblies! Oh my God, I love this so much. So if you saw the a few weeks ago when I visited the fabric store, in the muslin section, muslin is just really, really fine cotton, and or gauze, I think you might call it. And they had this one. It's palest pink. See, here I'm trying to put it next to a candy pink and that oatmeal one so that you can see what color it is. That didn't work. So I got out my other muslin with the bees on it. I talked about it last episode. This is it here. Oh my God, if you haven't ever seen photos of bees falling asleep in flowers, gotta go look that up. They are the cutest, especially the ones with the bumblebees. Like in the UK, bees, they have these big fat bees called bumblebees, and oh my God, they are just the cutest. They're so big and fluffy. They look like they've gone in the dryer and gone all fluffy. So cute. Anyway, so the strawberry dress, if it was popular a few years ago, like super, super popular, and a lot of the sewing channels that started during the pandemic all made one. It's made of like 10 yards of pink tulle, and then you paint strawberries over the top or bead strawberries over the top. Anyway, I have no interest in wearing a see-through dress, so that's why I bought muslin. No, so I bought 4 yards of this fabric, and I've got some plain pink cotton, and I'm going to fully line it so that it won't be see-through, because of course muslin is a really light fabric. Like, that's me with my hand under one layer, so it's really, really see-through. So I'm just going to use, it's going to be basically pink dress with that over the top. And yeah, so next we have this candy colored bit of felt, and I originally bought it because I have these pale pink flower-shaped beads that I was going to bead onto it. Just happened to put them down on the oatmeal, and they look so much better on the oatmeal. So another quandary. But yeah, so I really like those two together. And so I just used the oatmeal felt and then put the pale pink bridal tulle over the top and then stitch the flowers on. With this candy one, I've got pink tulle as bridal tulle as well. And it's just because the felt doesn't look very nice and there are spots where will be no beads. So you need something nice there. So I might do that with that one. But yeah, all those that candy mix of beads would look fabulous on that. And yeah, so many jackets to make, and you would think that I have a time machine or something to expand time. Anyway, there's one more, the sand coloured one, and this one is going to become Tempest 2.0 because I took all those beads, spoiler alert, I took all those beads off the Tempest jacket so carefully. I deserve a medal. I might go and buy myself some of those gold medal with, those chocolate coins. Yum. Anyway, getting distracted. So yeah, I'm going to call this Tempest 2.0, and I'm just going to, the felt is supposed to represent sand, and then I'll do like waves over the top and rocks and sort of look like seaweed and gems and pirate treasure and things like that. So I'm not sure which ones are. Don't know. I will use some of the skulls, but I'm not sure I'll use all the hand-blown beads. I might use some of them in the original Tempest jacket. Anyway, the tulle over this one, I've got this orange tulle, and it's like giant holes rather than a standard tulle. So it looks kind of like a net. So that's the one I'm going to use over this. And yeah, and I'm going to use up the shell slice beads as well. And when I was working on the original Tempest jacket, I was like, the sleeves get in the way. So I was like, it would be really good if you made the torso of the jacket, but didn't stitch the shoulder bit together. So it's just front, whole of the back, whole of the front in one big long bit. And then you could bead all that. And once you've done most of it, then you could stitch together the shoulders and make it into a whole like vest. And then you could do the sleeves. And with the sleeves, you could stitch the two pieces together into one big bit, but not do the back seam. I think I'm going to try it that way. It probably sounds incredibly awkward. But if you know how a jacket goes together and you know where the sleeves rub and where you can't put the big beads, then I think that might be a good way to do it. Anyway, so that is the fabric haul portion of the episode over and done with, and now we are back to my fabulous Tempest. So this is what she looked like last time you saw her, and she was very heavy. She was weighed down with beads, and yeah, I love it. I absolutely adore it. But it got to the point where it was going to get to the point where you wouldn't have been able to see any of the white at all. I mean, I would have been able to see it between the beads, and I knew what the tweed was like. But I was like, actually, I could just do that on felt. So I carefully took them all off, and I was like, I'm going to go with my original plan of making it like the dragonfly jacket, basically one bead per square. The squares are a little trickier to discern on this particular fabric, this Mediterranean tweed, because it's so different. But yeah, as you can see here, I think it's the brown layers that did it for me. You just couldn't see any of the white in between the two lines of the Mediterranean decorating fabric, and I was like, oh no, that's not what I want. But I did really, really love that teal band of beads. So yeah, I took a couple of photos of that. I somehow want to replicate that. So yeah, this is me saying one last goodbye to this jacket. There is so much work in this jacket, but I mean, so what? The more beading you do, the better you get at beading. It's like complaining about having to swim laps every morning. If you want to be good at something, then you have to do it a lot. So unpicking beading, as long as you very, very carefully unpick, It's actually the way good beading is designed to work anyway. It's designed to be pulled apart, and when something else is in fashion, this is the teal section I'm talking about. I absolutely love it. Just a little spots of gold in there, I think, make you able to discern, like it helps your eye pick out every single bead, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, there's so much information in this. When I did my plans video at the start of this month, I was like, I want to experiment and, gather information. And well, this isn't exactly what I had in mind. This is just a ridiculous amount of work. But I have gathered a lot of information, and there are going to be so many jackets that I bead that benefit from the knowledge I've gotten just doing this work in the past few weeks. Oh, I love those beads there. They look like old-fashioned boiled sugar candy. Yum. But I haven't had any. In America, candy's called candy, obviously. In the UK, it's called sweets, or in Scotland in particular, it's called sweeties. And in Australia, it's called lollies. So, yeah, I'm never quite sure which one to say, but yeah. Yum. Anyway, so this is it. I think this is the last bit of footage, and then we go, no, but wait, there's more. So I think this is the one from far away, and then we go to the next one. So obviously between those two bits of footage, I just did so much incredibly careful work of basically when you stitch a bead on, you stitch it on, then you stitch it on again at least twice so that it's secure. And then when you cut it off, because I've got so many structural layers, it's actually quite clean on the inside, and you just go along with really sharp scissors and very carefully cut only the thread and not harm the structural layer at all. And then you carefully pull off each bead, and then you carefully pull out all the thread. So it is time consuming, but you can do it in a way that doesn't harm the tweed at all, which is what I did. It just took forever. And then, I just decided to do the dragonfly thing. And yeah, I just have this massive pile of beads, because I didn't as I was pulling them off, it's quicker just to pull as you go and not sort as you go. So yeah, I just have this massive pile of beads on my desk at workbench at the moment. So yes. Anyway, so these are the first few rows, just the sample sections. And at this point, I think I just pinned up the hem so you could see what was happening. That's why the other side, the hem is longer. And yeah, I really like it. And so I'm just showing you from the side. And yeah, in the thin row, I've done tiny beads. I think, well, obviously for the matching cuff, I'll do the same thing. But for the rest of the thin white bands, I think I'll just use see-through glass 8mm beads. I know some of you are getting into beading. So 8mm is just smaller than your than your pinky fingernail. It's quite a small bead, but it's not tiny. So it will, the ones that I used are 4mm and 6mm, and they're just a little bit too small. But if I use a slightly larger one, but also clear, transparent, it won't look too big, but it'll have the right weight and it'll shine at the right way. So this is me showing you my incredibly messy desk. Oh my goodness. So I don't know. I don't think I need to sort these back into different sections because, as I said, I'm going to do the Tempest 2.0 jacket. Anyway, that's it. So all I have to do now, it's pretty straightforward, is put a pearl or one of these beads on the white section and there's 3 rows of white, then a row of decorating fabric. And with the decorating fabric, I use either brown thread or teal thread. And it's pretty straightforward. I also have the triangle on the back, which is going to be, the seaweed sort of colour and ocean colour mixed together. But you can sort of tell where it's going, but it's just going to take more time. So I'm plugging away at it. I actually quite like making these 1 bead per square jackets. It's very methodical. You know what has to go where. And well, with this Lesage style tweed, the guide threads sort of are woven a little weirdly, so they tend to waft, which is very on brand for a jacket about the sea, but it's a little annoying when you're trying to keep your bead lines straight. So they're just a little more organic than just plain straight as they were in the dragonfly jacket. But yeah, I like it. And I like the idea also of just having one play or one book per jacket and just really thinking about it deeply. So I've been doing that because a lot of people say the Tempest is about mortality, and the playwright was thinking about his own death. I don't particularly think that. So this is me pointing out that I need to do a triangle on the back of this jacket. I don't particularly think that. I mean, Shakespeare was in his early 50s when he passed away. I don't think, and he was wealthy and so well nourished and didn't have any pre-existing disease that we know of. So I don't think he could have foreseen his imminent death. And also, I mean, King Lear is right there. Why would you? I mean, in all his plays, he did think about legacy, but I think it's more about legacy of state and colonies and, indigenous versus empirical, in my opinion. I think he was thinking about, because in England at the time, the theatres were closed a lot. Every time there was a plague, they would close them down. And so there were a lot of religious zealots around saying, we've become too decadent. We need to wipe out the civilization we have and make England, start from scratch again with England. And so I think he personally, as a writer, I think he was worried about, he's really popular as long as theatre continues, but what if... And what happened was like this puritanical period. And then he was, by chance almost, he was rediscovered like a century later. And he is what he is now. But yeah, he was right to be concerned about the legacy and the state of the state, if you get what I mean. Anyway, that is it for this jacket and this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you've been inspired to do some beading or pull apart something you made and use the parts for something completely different or something slightly different. Anyway, thanks again for watching and happy sewing. I'm going to make a strawberry dress.